Hi everybody, welcome back to my modeling channel. So today we're gonna build an old World War II veteran, the F-6 Hellcat from Eduard, scale 172, and that's the Profi pack. So I always wanted to check this out, so let's check it out together. So the kit comes really nicely. Everything is in a little plastic bag, and then we will review all the parts together. So the kit come up. So the first proof, basically, it's a beautiful kit. So it's very fine engravement for that kit. All the panel lines and the structure lines. So you have the fuselage in two halves with the stabilizer, and then you have different options, I believe, for the engine cowling. So that's the first part, and there will be of course some details, I'm sure, to check out the cockpit. Now we're moving on to the wings, and the wings are beautifully, and they are really beautiful. It's a really beautiful kit. So all the panel lines are really with a very fine engravement as well. We have lots of details in the wheel well, as we can see, and it's really a beautiful kit. And then the last part come up with the engines, the gear door, the undercarriage, and we can see that even you have the tire marks, all the details of the tires, the propeller, and all the attachments. So it's really a nice kit, and I truly believe that I'm gonna enjoy that. Now let's move up to the instruction sheet. But first, the kit come up with some photo etch part. As you can see, I'm going to try to put a good light on that. So we have basically all the fans, the air filter for the intake, I guess. Those are the pipes for the engine, and we also have the details for the belt. And here we have another photo etch part. I hope you can see it. Yeah, a little bit better. So you can see here you have all the photo etch part, and everything has been painted already. So that's going to give us a lots of details for that little cockpit. So that's going to be something really beautiful. So the kit comes as well with all the masks for the windows. So that's going to be also some great help. Let's come up now with the instruction sheet. And as you can see, it's a very nice little booklet. You have all the options you can wish for, and few pages, lots of instructions and details, especially for the cockpit and the photo etch parts. So it's going to be really a lovely kit to build. I really look forward to it. We have all the details options here and there, so it's really you got lots of colors as well, instructions for the propeller with the logo on the propeller blade. So it's really a nice one. And that kit come with 1, 2, 3, 4 different options, all during World War II. So they are quite interesting actually. I think I'm going to choose the first one with lots of an ace with lots of victories. So I think it's going to be a nice aircraft to build in that dark blue livery. So now we're going to come up to the clear part as well, and we can see that that's the signature of Eduard. You always come up with some round clear parts, and you have that shape and all the parts, and the plastic is really stunning. I mean, it's really a beautiful kit, and I'm really gonna enjoy building that aircraft. So let's have a closer look on the decal sheet now. So it's well protected as well. So we're gonna remove that film. And here is our decals options. So as you can see, you have mainly the victories and few panel lines, but nothing too crazy, but just enough to do the perfect job. So I'm gonna really enjoy building this kit with you. So enough of talking and let's start building. So we're gonna start that model by initially airbrushing the interior of the model. For this I will use a yellow-green color from Tamiya. So we will do all the cockpit and the interior and the wheel well as well. So following these paints, we're going to start preparing our cockpit. And I have to say that the Profi pack of Eduard is really amazing. It's the first time I was building a model from Eduard, and I have to say that all the parts are fitting exactly into position. There is not a lot of work on the part. It's really a big pleasure to work. It's a very enjoyable model. So then there is some painted photo edge parts for the cockpit, and I have to say that, I mean, it's very easy, as you can see, to work with. And you have initially the instruments, and then you have the shape, or basically what will help you to get a little bit more 3D effect on that, another layer basically with all the frame of the instruments. And it's honestly it's a real pleasure to work with those kits. So as you can see, just the instrument panel was you had a lot of parts. I mean, you had like 6 parts of photo edge parts, and also the instrument panel itself. So, but that gives a lot of details, and the final result will be just outstanding. We will now start painting also all the little parts and the instrument panel on that F6, and as you can see, I mean, the results are quite realistic at the end. Of course, we'll use a little bit later on some wash and some other effects, and that's going to be quite realistic later on, but I'll let you discover that. Now we're gonna start pulling basically the fuselage together. So we'll cut all the parts and do a little bit of adjustment, and of course I will do a kind of dry brushing technique on those instruments, which I've been doing a little bit earlier on. And then we're gonna start. We're gonna glue basically the cockpit inside the fuselage. I will have also to do the tail wheel, but nothing really too difficult. And I have to say that it's still it's going to be really a fun model to continue work on. We will now work on the wings, and as you can see, it's not a lot of work to do actually, just fitting the guns and then closing the wings, but the adjustments of the parts are just really beautiful. Really not a lot to do. So just adding a little bit of glue and getting everything together, and not much required after that. So after that, basically we're gonna start filling up all the gaps. There is not many, but just to make sure that everything is is really fitting well. I'll add a little bit of putty on all those very tiny gaps on the fuselage as well, and as you can see there is some small marks, but nothing really too difficult. It's very easy to work with. I kept the putty to a minimum this time compared to some other brands, and we're going to be able to work this out very nicely. Of course, now it's time to remove the extra putty, and you will see that there is not much left after sanding this down. We're now going to start to assemble the engine. The radial engine is in a two-stage basically, so very easy to work with. I mean, not a lot of fiddling around. And then we're going to rescribe the panel lines. As you can see, well, somewhere a little bit removed, but very easy to work with. And I acquired recently a new trumpeter basically rescribing tool, and this one is really easier to work when you get close to a 90-degree angle, because you can really get close to your targeted area. So I really liked it. So now we're putting the wings together, and after fiddling a little bit, now we're gonna glue them, and as you can see, it's a very easy work to do. We're gonna then start working on the elevator, and a little bit of fiddling once again, and then we're gonna glue them directly to the model. Then we'll do a little bit of sanding down on the parts himself directly on the model. So we're going to start now working on the engine. So we're going to initially glue it and get it fixed to the model. Then we're going to use that gunmetal Tamiya color, and then I'm going to paint the engine, the overall engine color that way. Then of course we'll be using some wash a little bit later on. Then there will be a little parts for the propeller and the governor, as it's not a constant speed propeller. So we'll be able to work this out a little bit later on, and that's what we're going to assemble now. They are in three parts, and those will be fixed to the engine and then will be painted on it. We will now work on the engine cowling. So basically it's in three parts, and there is also a little grid from Photo H parts that's going to be put on it's the air intake, and that's going to be as well added. It was part of the kit. For this I will use some super glue, and then everything is working very easy on this kit. I have to say that I really enjoy those Profi pack. They have so much to give, and the result you can give is quite outstanding. So now we're going to use another Photo H part, and that's going to be all the fuel lines who will go basically to the engines, and so we have to fiddle them, and I use super glue to fix them, and after that basically we'll be able to add the governor. But first we need to adjust them, each of them 2 lines per cylinder. So as you can see, it can take a little bit of time. And then we're gonna add the last cone on the engines, and then we're gonna be able to paint this. And for this I use a light gray color, and then we will add some a little bit later on we'll add some wash to give some more realistic effect. So we're gonna now work on those clear parts, because there is 2 little windows behind the pilot seat. So for this I had to do a little bit of workout preparing the parts, but I have to say that the fitting was really outstanding. I have to say that those kits are just amazing, and they're really worth the price for those models, because those kits have so much to give, basically. So it's really enjoying them. So now, as I was mentioning earlier, we're gonna do a little bit of weathering on that engine, and you will see that everything will fit very well and very nice at the end when you see the model. So after that, we're gonna do the same in the wheel well, as there is always tracks of dirt and oil and stains and things like that. So now we're gonna paint basically the canopy in black. The top, basically, that's the glare shield, not the canopy, and then we'll be able to fit the windscreen on the model. So it's now time to go to the paint booth, and initially basically I will paint the top of the canopy, the windscreen, and those side windows with that yellow-green color. I like this. You will have that layer inside of the aircraft, and then we're gonna start using our paint for the fuselage. The whole plane basically is painted with that dark navy blue. So for this I use a mix. Basically I use some Tamiya paint, the dark blue, navy blue, and I add some black color as well, but I can't remember the proportion, to be honest. I'm normally using the ball dye to get really a dark color aircraft, and then we'll be able to keep doing that. So I will do that in 2 times, as the overall aircraft color is the same. So we will now cover basically the wheel well to avoid having our dark paint, as it's already everything has been done already. Then we're gonna do the final layer of paint on that aircraft. So we're gonna start now doing some weathering on the aircraft. So for this, what I have been doing, I've been trying a new technique as well. I've been using a sponge, and I'm dipping it basically in the paint, and then that gives me like I'm trying to get the effect of chipped paint on the aircraft, especially on the leading edges, on the walking path, on the wings basically, and some other panels, and I have to say that it worked pretty well. I can still work out on the technique to perfect it. It needs a little bit more of practice, but I have to say that generally speaking it was really well. It worked very well, and I was quite happy. So then we're gonna start putting all the decals on the model itself, and so once again, I mean, decals were thin, they were easy to work with, so nothing to complain about. So sometimes, like it happened in this case, you have to pay a little bit attention on how to place the decal, and actually I didn't pay enough attention. I realized when it was on the wings, and then it was the other side, so basically I had to turn it, as you can see, and so just a quick reminder that sometimes we need to pay a little bit more attention on how to do the things, or you could have some surprise. But I have to say that at the end everything went pretty good. So I have nothing to complain, just I lost a little bit of extra time, but just learn from my mistake, and then you'll avoid issues. Now we put the decals of the logo. I'm not sure if those are Hamilton prop, but there are plenty of those around, so that was quite easy. And then we're gonna put the decals on the left side of the model now. So now we're gonna do some paint touch-up. So initially I'm gonna paint the guns, and for this I will use the same gun metal that I've been using. Then we'll do some paint touch-up with the dark blue around the wheel well, and then we're gonna be able to finish the undercarriage of the aircraft. Now we're gonna start working again on the aircraft weathering. So for this I'm gonna start to do some weathering on the prop, of course. This one hasn't worked yet, so it's time. And then we're gonna start working again, as our decals are pretty neat, so they need a little bit of weathering once again. So that's initially for the paint chip. Then I'm gonna use my my makeup box, and I'll start basically doing some tracks, some dark tracks, oil and exhaust, that I will put on the exhaust pipe of the aircraft and on the guns as well. I will do that around the wings, and then we're going to do another layer of a paintbrush, and for this not paintbrush but some airbrush, where I will add as well some smoke on the model itself. So now we will prepare our undercarriage. So for this I will put the rim on the tires, and then we'll fix them to the gear itself, and then we will put them on the plane. So as I was mentioning earlier, now we're gonna start adding some smoke color to the engines, to the model. So basically I will try to replicate what happened, and so we have those tracks, those dark tracks, and then we're gonna put that, we're gonna add that smoke basically around the model. Now we're gonna remove all the masking tape as we are almost done, fix basically the canopy and the propeller, and the model will be completed. So this is the end result of that F6 Hellcat from Eduard Profi pack on scale 1/72. So I hope you enjoyed that build with me, because actually I really did enjoy that build. It was one of my favorite ones so far. And if you did enjoy the build, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you soon for another kit review and another build. Thank you for watching.